Most people believe that the wealthy are somehow born different, that they were handed everything or stumbled into a lucky break. But here's the truth. Self-made millionaires don't rely on luck. They build habits, brick by brick, day after day. They commit to a way of life that pulls them out of mediocrity and into mastery. You see, the gap between the average and the wealthy is not money. It's mindset. It's discipline. It's the consistent decisions made behind closed doors that separate the successful from the stuck. Millionaires aren't created overnight. They're forged in early mornings, quiet disciplines, and relentless pursuit of growth. And if you're watching this, it means something in you is ready to level up. It means you're tired of playing small. You're ready to break free from the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. Tired of watching others succeed while you wonder when your time will come. The truth is, your time comes the moment you choose to live differently. The moment you decide to adopt the habits that turn ordinary people into extraordinary stories. You want to be wealthy? Then let me tell you this. Wealth is built long before the money shows up. It's built in the dark when nobody is watching. It's built in silence while others are sleeping in or scrolling mindlessly. Self-made millionaires master their time, their thoughts, and their energy. They don't wait for opportunities. They create them. They don't fear hard work. They crave it. While the world chases comfort, they chase growth. While others look for shortcuts, they show up and build brick by brick. One of the first habits that self-made millionaires master is rising early, waking up before the world gives them control over their day. Before the noise of the world invades their mind, they're already focused. They're already ahead. While others are hitting snooze, they're stretching, planning, reading, journaling, or moving their bodies. The early hours of the day are sacred to them. It's when the mind is most clear and intentions are set for how the day will unfold. They understand that the first hour of the day determines the pace of everything that follows. And what do they fill that time with? They read, not just to escape, but to grow, to stretch their minds beyond limitations, to learn from the successes and failures of others. They don't just consume content for entertainment. They seek wisdom. They study business, leadership, psychology, investing, because they know that your income will rarely exceed your level of personal development. If you want more, you have to become more. And one of the fastest ways to level up is to immerse yourself in books, audiobooks, podcasts, and mentors, even if you've never met them in person. Their days are intentional. Every hour is accounted for. They don't drift, they design. They don't react, they respond. Time is their most valuable asset, and they protect it fiercely. They don't waste it on endless scrolling, gossip, or distractions. Every action either moves them closer to their goal or it's cut out. Self-made millionaires are ruthless about cutting the fluff from their lives. They understand that their focus determines their future. If something doesn't add value, it's eliminated. They train their bodies with the same intensity. They train their minds, not because they're obsessed with looks, but because they know a healthy body equals a sharp, energized mind. They know that if they can control their cravings, their pain, their comfort zones, they can control anything, whether it's hitting the gym, going for a run, stretching, or eating clean. Physical discipline fuels mental power. You can't operate at your highest level when your energy is low, when your mind is foggy, when your body is tired. Millionaires invest in their health because they understand that peak performance isn't optional, it's required. And then there's a habit of setting clear, compelling goals. Millionaires don't just hope things will work out. They write it down. They make it plain. They map out their year, break it down into quarters, months, weeks, and days. They track their progress. They hold themselves accountable. And they don't just focus on what they want, they focus on why they want it. Their goals are connected to purpose, to vision, to legacy. That's what keeps them moving when motivation runs out. That's what keeps them up late, grinding, and rising early when others are quitting. Now here's a secret the average person overlooks. Millionaires build multiple streams of income. They don't rely on one paycheck, one business, or one source. They build portfolios. They invest. They create value in several ways. They might start with one focus, but they branch out. Real estate, stocks, businesses, digital assets, partnerships. They make their money work for them. Even while they sleep, their systems generate income. That's the power of leverage. That's the power of thinking beyond survival and stepping into scalability. Another habit they've mastered is saying no. Saying no to things that don't align with their vision. No to distractions, invitations, temptations, and shortcuts. Because every yes costs time, energy, and focus. And every wasted yes is a step further from their goal. Millionaires value their time more than their money because they know they can always make more money, but they can never make more time. Every minute has a purpose. Every day has a mission, and they don't climb alone. They surround themselves with people who challenge them, push them, and sharpen them. They know that environment is everything. You can't grow if you're surrounded by small thinkers, doubters, and negative energy. Millionaires invest in relationships. They build networks, join masterminds, find mentors, and offer value in return. They don't compete with everyone, they collaborate. They believe in rising together. Because iron sharpens iron, and you'll always become the average of the people you spend the most time with. Here's another powerful truth. Millionaires think long-term. While others are chasing fast money, they're building empires. They're patient, strategic, calculated. They know that success is not built in days. It's built in decades. They delay gratification, reinvest profits, and build things that last. They're not impressed by flash. They're focused on freedom. They're not chasing applause. They're building legacy. Discipline is their fuel, not motivation. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline, that's a choice, a muscle, a mindset. They train it daily. They show up even when they don't feel like it. They keep promises to themselves. That's how trust is built internally. That's how confidence is born, through action, through keeping your word to yourself. And that discipline spills into every area: finances, relationships, health, business. They don't leave it to chance. They take charge. But perhaps the most beautiful thing, they give back, not just when they're wealthy, but on the way up. They understand that abundance flows from generosity, that impact is greater than income, that the purpose of success isn't a hoard, it's to uplift. They mentor, they donate, they build schools, they fund dreams. Because legacy is built not in what you accumulate, but in what you pour into others. These habits are not unreachable. They're not reserved for a chosen few. They're available to anyone willing to choose differently, to wake up with purpose, to read when others watch TV, to say no when it's easier to say yes, to build instead of complain, to grow instead of settle. The code to wealth is not locked away. It's written in your daily routine, in your mindset, in your decisions. And the beauty of all this, you don't have to change your entire life overnight. You just have to start with one habit, one step, one shift. Maybe tomorrow you wake up a bit earlier. Maybe tonight you pick up a book instead of your phone. Maybe this week you write your goals down and actually commit. Maybe today, right now, you decide that average isn't enough for you anymore, that you're done watching others live your dream, that you're ready to step into a life of design, not default. This is a rich code. This is the mindset of the wealthy. This is the path. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Because the life you dream of is possible, not in theory, in reality. But it starts with habits. It starts with choosing differently when no one is watching. You were never meant to play small. You were meant to lead, to create, to build, to inspire. And your future self is waiting for you on the other side of consistency. So commit. Start now. And don't stop. Wealth isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become, the habits you build, the mindset you master, and the code you choose to live by. Welcome to the Rich Code. Let's build your empire, one habit at a time.